Hello everyone, we are Group 19. Today we will talk about our group project. Our project studies profit volatility across SP 500 industries during COVID-19. Our key question is, can a gauge model make CAPM forecast better? Let's do a quick recap. CAPM has two main assumptions. First, the variance of returns is constant. Second, the risk-return relationship is stable and linear. However, during the COVID-19, industries such as consumer manufacturing, high technology, healthcare, and other showed strong clustered volatility. This breaks the constant variance assumption. It also makes OLS estimates less efficient, so the model may misprice risk. Next, about our ideas and method, we keep the CAPM main equation the same, but we allow the variance to change over time. To do this, we use sketch type models. They can capture persistency in volatility, and with versions like GGR Gauge, they can capture asymmetry. We study the COVID window and compare forecast before, during, and after the shock. We also check if results differ by industry. But why this matter? If time varying volatility improves forecast, investors can make better decisions. They can adjust asset allocation, improve diversification, and then manage risk under large shocks. To sum up, COVID-19 made volatility move a lot and cluster in time. A gauge-based variance may help CAPM adapt to that reality. Our study tests this and shows where the gains are strongest across the industry.
We have discussed the conclusions of other researchers on this issue, and now I will summarize. Firstly, I want to talk why classical models struggle in the crises, such as COVID-19 periods. The paper examines whether the changing risk models are more effective than the standard CAPM estimated by using OLS. Traditional CAPM is based on the assumption that the errors are normally distributed and have constant variance. However, the truth about financial data is that fatigues and volatility clustering exists, especially during crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Is not in accordance with OLS assumption and render its prediction unreliable. Statistical tests such as GB, BP, and ArchLM are used to verify the normality of S&P 500 industry portfolios, and these tests demonstrate that more flexible models are necessary. The second, we found some bad tools, Gauge, GGR Gauge by other researchers. The volatility models are used to overcome these weaknesses in the study. The Arch model is a model that explains changing variance of past shocks, and the Gauge model is a simpler model that uses fewer parameters to explain persistent volatility. GGR Gauge includes the symmetry aspects, which indicates that bad news increases the volatility of the market more than good news. A formula known as the leverage effect. As an illustration, GGR Gauge is best suited for the turbulent times such as COVID-19 period. And finally, the research question is, does CAPM with gauge models predict better than the standard OLS CAPM? It's based on the accuracy metric of the S&P 500, which IMSE measures, and the significance metric of the DM tests. With the addition of gauge mean to risk-return analysis, the outcome indicates that the models explain volatility and asymmetry forecast better at times of COVID-19 periods. Thank you.
In this part, I will provide the econometric model we employed to test the dynamics of S&P 500 excess returns during the COVID-19 pandemic. We set out to not only get the connection between market factors and returns, but also the dynamic aspect of volatility which is often exaggerated during turbulent economic times. We used a hybrid model that was a Fama-French three-factor model and a GARC specification. The Fama-French component is used to explain the returns using three major factors, which are market excess return, size, and value. Nevertheless, as financial information is regularly volatile, for example, large price variations are frequently followed by large changes. The GARC model was put forward to model time-dependent volatility. The main equation is an equation that models the expected excess return of the S&P 500 as a function of the Fama-French factors. And the variance equation is an equation that models the dependence of current volatility on past shocks and the level of volatility of the past. This method allows us to consider both the systematic risk and dynamic volatility patterns of the data. Our analysis was informed by a number of assumptions, which included the time series is stationary, the volatility is conditionally heteroscedastic, and the residuals are not correlated following model estimation. Even though normality is not a strict criterion, we adopted robust standard errors to deal with possible deviation. Lastly, we estimated the model with a maximum likelihood estimation and made diagnostic tests, like the Legendre box, ARC-LM, and Jarque-Barra tests to verify the accuracy of the model. Within this framework, it is easier to appreciate the dynamics of market risk and volatility in times of crisis and their impact on the returns of assets.
My section outlines the data basis of our study on how GARC models can be used to enhance the conventional CAPM. I shall give you a brief description of our three-step approach. We initially form a crisis-oriented dataset by utilizing three primary sources: daily prices of the S&P 500 in Yahoo Finance, Fama-French factors in a database by Kinney French, and new 5 industry portfolios with Fama-French 5 factors to analyze sector-level data. We have selected one significant period of crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, which is 2019 to 2021. Having cleaned and merged the data through the standardization of dates, we then calculated daily returns subtracting excess returns, after which we computed 30-day rolling annualized volatility after eliminating missing value. There were then 757 clean observations in period of crisis. Our exploratory analysis has shown two key findings that question the classical CAPM. The JB test was strongly rejected, which means P is around 0.01 and QQ plots have heavy tails. Normality was not the case with returns. This is a breach of one of the key assumptions of CAPM and why more complex models are required.
Yes, most obviously, we discovered highly significant evidence of volatility clustering. The ASHM test had 10 lags that produced p-value of 0.000, which indicated the volatility is prone to clustering during period of stress. In contrast, COVID was characterized by shorter volatility spikes but steeper losses and faster recovery. At the industry level, data indicated that tech was the best performer in the COVID recovery. These findings indicate that the CAPM does not explain volatility clustering in crisis-specific result. The GARC model can deal with this problem by modeling the time varying and the conditional variance, which is our next stage of modeling.
In my part, I will focus on the data analysis section of the experiment, which includes residual diagnostic, volatility modeling, and forecasting evaluation. The first part is baseline model and diagnostic. I estimate the CAPM mean equation using OLS. Then I tested the residuals. The first test is BP test. Most industries show heterostaticity, and the second test is arch test. All industries have strong conditional heterostaticity. And the third test is JB test. Residuals are non-normal with skewness and fat tail. This result shows that the classical OLS assumptions are violated, so a conditional variance model is needed. This motivates the use of GARCH. The next part is volatility modeling. To capture time-varying volatility, I first estimate high-order arch Q models based on the ACF of squared residuals. Then, I estimate GARCH11 and compare the two using AIC and BIC. In all 5 industries, GARCH11 has lower AIC and BIC, meaning a better and more parsimonious fit. Next, I test for asymmetric volatility using the sign bands test, which is designed to detect the leverage effect. That is, whether negative shocks increase volatility more than positive shocks of the same magnitude. Manufacturer shows a significant negative sign balance, so I switch to GGR GARCH11, and other industries stay with standard GARCH11. Therefore, GARCH models are selected for volatility dynamic. The third part is forecast evaluation. I extend the model to GARCH in mean, where conditional variance enters the mean equation. To test the forecasting performance, I calculate RMSE for each model, and I run the DM test comparing CAPM versus MGARCH forecasts. The result of them are, in all industries, MGARCH has slightly higher RMSE, and the DM test shows no significant difference in predictive accuracy. So, even though GARCH models capture volatility well, adding conditional variance into the mean does not improve forecasting during COVID-19 period. Finally, the conclusion. First, data shows strong heterostaticity, arch effects, and non-normality. And second, GARCH11 is more efficient and fits better than high-order arch. And the third one is forecasting accuracy of MGARCH is not better than CAPM. Thank you.
Our analysis delivers 3 critical insights. First, crises aren't monolithic. 1. COVID-19 features violent concentrated plugs. 2. Traditional CAPM fails catastrophically. Its constant variance assumption shatters against fat tails. And volatility clustering. 3. Most significantly, GARC integration failed to improve forecast. Despite modeling volatility clustering, asymmetry, and risk-return dynamic, GARC CAPM showed higher RMSE than OLS CAPM across all S&P 500 sectors, with Diebold Mariano test confirming no statistically significant gains.
Okay, what do these results mean? First, diagnostic value over predictive power. The GARC model explains crisis dynamics like manufacturing leverage effects, but cannot mechanically enhance APM forecast during black swan events. The second, sector-specific strategies still apply. Portfolio managers should still monitor volatility signature like tax rapid COVID rebound for dynamic diversification, albeit without GARC-based forecasting. And finally, future research in preface. Hybrid ML GARC framework for adaptability, integration of macro variable like feed policy shocks. In volatility market, understanding volatility is more important than forecasting it.
That's all for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.